Hello again, everybody. This is Craig Evans of Autism Hangout, and thank you for tuning into this Autism Hangout feature program series, Apps for Autism. With me today is app developer Eric Sailors. Now, Eric is a marathoner, but not only in the sense of running a foot race. He actually runs the entire course to achieve something more noble. As co-founder of rinnapps with his fellow marathoner Jason Rinn, Eric Sailors is a speech pathologist who set in the goal of kids with speech issues being able to freely and effectively communicate. And Eric is here today to discuss Artikpix, a speech practice program, and how its design reflects evidence-based research and how it's working in the marketplace today. Eric, welcome. It's nice to have you here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I got a chance to go through Artikpix on YouTube. I saw your demo. It's great. We're going to get around to that at some point, but most of the people on Autism Hangout have an interest in, okay, if you're making stuff for my kids, how do you know about autism? Now, you're a speech and language pathologist. Tell us a little bit about your background and what you're doing today.
All right, well, I'm a speech-language pathologist at an elementary school where there are 3 autism classrooms, and I go into those rooms doing small groups, and just about every single time I go in, I bring my iPad because the students who I work with just really enjoy it, and I also think that they can really get a lot out of it as well in terms of their areas of need. And when it comes to Artikpix, that's an app for speech sounds. You might not first think about that being used with autism, but I have some students who are higher functioning and they need to improve on sounds like their L or their R, and they're able to do that in a very fun and interactive way with flashcard and matching activities.
And how did you get involved with actually building apps?
Well, I was using traditional flashcards, and I felt like my students were getting bored of them after a while. I also was trying to juggle collecting data by using a pencil and a piece of paper. I would also have a digital voice recorder, and it was just really not getting me too far, and my students really were looking for something that was more fun. And at the time, I was running marathons. And one of my good friends who I was training with, Jason Rinn, who lives here in San Diego with me, he was looking into developing iPhone apps. Since he has a background in software programming, we kind of joined together. I came up with the content and designed the app while he did all the hardcore programming.
That's a great story. You started with the flashcards and you had pen and pencil to record scores and digital recorder to let them hear what they sounded like. But you could put it all in one device, be it an iPad, an iTouch, or an iPhone. That's just fantastic. I do know that in your case, there's a term called evidence-based practice, but you just like to call it research, and you've incorporated this research into your products from rinnapps. Can you define a little bit more about what this research does?
Sure. For speech sound disorders, there's research that shows how children can make the most efficient progress. And one of the ideas is to make sure that they can practice their particular sounds as much as possible, which is pretty logical. But also you want to make sure that they are listening to how they say those sounds so that they can make improvement. And they can also tally whether they're saying the sounds correctly or incorrectly. And you want to make sure that they can say their sounds in words and sentences so that they are trying to progress through the different levels of speech.
I think this is a really good time to show how Artikpix actually assists a child in doing that. Let's take a look at the demo that you have online.
I'm Eric Sailors for Artikpix, an articulation app I'll demonstrate on iPad. Artikpix has flashcard and matching activities for children to practice their speech sounds. I'll demonstrate flashcards first. This is the full version of the app with 21 decks. Just select the ones you want. Then deselect any sound groups you don't want. Right now the cards are shuffled. They can be unshuffled and reordered however you like. I'll keep them shuffled.
Thanks.
You hear autoplay of audio. There's also tap to play.
Thanks.
Prompt children to practice their speech sounds by recording. Thanks, thanks, thanks. Then play it back. Thanks, thanks, thanks. And collect scores, smile face for correct, frown face for incorrect. Total scoring is shown on the screen, while detailed scoring by sound group is done in the background. When a child is done with one card, flick to the next.
Dozen. Thermos. Jeep.
Whenever you're done, the scores are displayed in detail on this screen. Save the scores in the app or copy them to clipboard, Google Spreadsheet, or email. Now I'll demonstrate the matching activity. Again, there are the 21 decks. Select the ones you want. Deselect the sound groups you don't want. Then pick a matching level. Easy level has 3 pairs of cards, medium has 6 pairs, and hard has 10 pairs. Let's try medium. Tap 2 cards to make a match.
Soap. Socks.
If you don't make a match, then the cards will flip over in 3 seconds. Tap another card.
Lake.
Prompt the child to practice his speech sounds. Lake, lake, lake. Play it back. Lake, lake, lake. And collect scores. Total scoring here on the screen and detailed scoring done in the background. Let's try to make a match.
Lamp.
Not a match.
Soap. Soap.
Alright, we made a match. So the cards will disappear after we hear a reinforcing sound. Whenever you're done, the scores are displayed by sound group. Save them or copy them. To conclude, you can get Artikpix Full by downloading it from the iTunes App Store. For more information, visit our website at rinnapps.com/Artikpix.
The video that you just watched is from several months ago, and since then we've had some updates, and I just would like to say that one of those updates is the use of sentences in the flashcards. So when a child is swiping from one card to the next, they can flip a card over so that not only are they practicing their sound in words, but also in sentences. And we've also improved the layout as well, just to make sure that all of the buttons that we have in the app are in the consistent places, and it just makes for a much cleaner design.
Feedback to developers is very important. Autism Hangout, if you folks have Artikpix, if you've already installed this app and you've had a good experience with it, Eric needs to know that.
We've gotten some really positive reviews on the iTunes App Store, and we've also gotten several emails that have asked for specific features, and so we've responded to those email requests by providing some updates to the app.
Excellent.
And I'm hoping that the users are really enjoying the latest updates that we have.
That's excellent. Okay, Artikpix is one product. What are the other products that rinnapps makes?
Well, we actually started off with Percentily, which is a data collection app, and it's a very simple app for tallying whether a child is demonstrating a behavior correctly or incorrectly. And another app that we just released is called Phonopix, and it's the complement of Artikpix. It's a little bit more abstract. It doesn't target specific sounds like the S or the TH, but for some children who, let's say, don't say the final sound on a word, then this app allows them to be able to practice the final sound of words.
Excellent. Eric, where can people go to get more information on your products? What's your web address?
Our website is www.rinnapps.com, and if they want to specifically look at Artikpix, they can just put /Artikpix on the end of that website URL.
Okay. Eric, thank you so much for what you're doing for our special kids, not only as a speech and language pathologist, but as an app developer. It's clear that your goal is to help our kids be as best as they can be, and I thank you for that.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Well, continued success to you. And thank you, Autism Hangout. Appreciate you tuning in, too. I'll be back again soon with another app for autism.